So Mayweather had something to say about Sean Diddy Combs on a podcast recently. Podcasts are really doing some unique things, but I just think sometimes I love the podcasts that don't bait the guests into talking whatever they're gonna say, and then the guests just come up and say it on their own. And this is what Mayweather had to say. No one came to Mayweather and asked him anything about Sean Diddy Combs. The question that was posed to Mayweather was, how is you and Playboy Cardi's relationship? Mayweather proceeded to talk 2 minutes about that, and out of nowhere just started talking about Diddy. And ain't no one asked him. Ain't no one asked him a thing. But he decided that he wanted to have something to say about it. Let's see if I can find it.
I'm not going to speak bad about P. Diddy because he's still a black man. Mistakes happen, and I can't say if it is or it's not a mistake, but things happen in life. And P. Diddy business is P. Diddy business. It's not my job or anyone else's job to go on the internet and stump him and kick a man while he's down. My take on it is it's not my business. I don't think it's right at all.
Mayweather, no one asked you about your take.
Even if that happened to my daughter, I would be hurt. But that's a choice that my daughter made.
Yeah.
So I don't want to kick nobody while they're down.
I think the big thing, because I have girls.
What was before that?
That's what that was what I just told you was what's before that. The question that was actually posed.
Why we couldn't hear that part first?
Because this was the most important part.
It sounded like he was asked, and now he was.
They didn't ask him at all about Diddy. They didn't even bring him up.
But you should have played that part so we could have got that.
By now, people understand that. I make sure they.
I didn't know.
See that.
I just saw that and was like.
But when you hear that, what do you think though? Specifically about that part.
Like they asked him a question.
No,
and he's talking about where he's like basically not going to answer their question.
Yeah,
but in some words, he still answered it because he was like, if it was my daughter,
that's what I'm saying.
I'd be hurt, but that was her choice. Mayweather, you was just about the boot bop kick swoop.
Let me ask you
NBA
a question.
Young boy when him and your daughter got into it.
Are the charges against Diddy related to a woman's choice?
What?
Exactly. Comprehension is important. Even if they didn't ask you no question. Think about what you're saying before you say it. You giving your daughter a choice in a situation where these accusations, these women didn't have a choice. Ain't nobody tell him to get on this podcast that no one asked him to talk about this and try to reprimand the people that is criticizing Diddy for whatever he's doing. And ain't nobody really saying anything. But at the same token, ain't nobody asked him to be the spokesperson to protect Diddy. I don't think no one asked him. And if that's the case, there are plenty of people that are more closer to Diddy that would be saying something right now. I haven't heard a word from DJ Khaled. That's his A-Boost, whoever you want to call it. I ain't heard a word from Rick Ross. Rick Ross ain't uttered that man's name. And they live right across the street from one another. These are all the people that's been in his circle. French Montana ain't went over and say, no, you don't say anything. Listen, Joe Budden was on his network. You ain't heard Joe say, Joe been like, man, look, in the beginning you could say some of that stuff can be a little crazy. But when it keeps happening, there might be some truth to it. And Joe still was respecting his relationships, but still, like, ain't nobody asked him to say anything, and then try to tell people whose place it is. Listen to me. Choice or no choice. Someone gang rapes my daughter, we got a problem. We ain't about to say she had a choice and she could have did that. Yeah, she had a choice. She had a choice to go over there Thinks she was meeting an upstanding person, thought she can trust this person, and they decided to violate her trust. So now she loses that power. That is my problem with that statement. Make that make sense. But that just tells you, see, that's why I say you gotta listen to people. And all the things that you used to hear about him putting his hands on the women that he dealt with, that statement right there tells you everything you need to know about what type of person he is. And that's his business. I'm not gonna judge him for that. If that's the way he wanna live, so be it. But at the same token, you gotta understand words have power, my G. Words have power, huh?
Huh?
Shut up.
Boo. Shush me.
Words do got power though. And people gotta be mindful of the words that they use.